Accept, and it takes you to the next step. We cannot understand or do not understand or don't want to understand the idea that God exists right here, right now, because we have definitions. And we hold up our definitions and say, oh, well, this can't be. Well, your definition can't be. But the truth can be and is. What we need to understand is how to be humble. Now, I'm not talking about old humble me, the guy who says, well, yeah, I don't do that because I'm humble. No. No. Humble means I simply see and accept the greater force. The force that is greater than my mind, the force that is greater than my definition. I see and I accept. People will say, well, I believe in a superior being. Well, what does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing. Think about that. It means you're afraid. Accept the law. Once you accept the law, it takes you to the next point. Accept humility. I do not have to define it. I cannot define it. It is what it is. It is not what I am saying it is. Once we do that, we know that it is real and it is here. And it manifests itself inside of a person. It manifests itself inside of the earth. It manifests itself inside of everything that is alive and conscious and intelligent and loving. It manifests in all those ways because these things are love, intelligence. These things are manifestations of the unimaginable. They just are. They just are. It's simple. Faith. Trust. Where has knowing gotten you? Look at what we know and look at the condition we have put the earth in. Look at the condition we have put human beings in. Look at the condition we have put all other living things in. We are killing it. We're killing the rivers. We're killing the forest. We're killing the earth itself. We're polluting the air out of ignorance. We became as wise as God. We can build things and we can make things and we can do this. At what cost? Are we truly as wise as God, or is that our assumption? If we were as wise, we would have left it alone in the first place. There are certain things we would have done, yes, but with the knowledge of self, with the knowledge of the law that is self. We go against the law that is self. Well, so the answer is very simple, isn't it? Go with the law that is self. Doesn't matter what someone else says. You will find that someone who wants you to go against that law doesn't know. So why would you go with them? If you want to go downtown and you set off going that direction and someone over here says, no, it's this way, but you know it's that way, why would you go with them? Why would you? Why wouldn't you say, okay, well, Go ahead. But I'm going this way. You have chosen. If you choose truth, if you choose the lie, sure. The way you know you have chosen the lie? Pain. The pain that you keep encountering, the pain about your physical state of being, your pain of what you have and what you don't have, the pain of getting more, getting this, getting that without, all these things. The pain of all that. The pain tells you, well, I'm going to do what I want to do. Well, every time you do what you want to do, how's that pain? How's that treating you? Well, you see, no one has to tell you that you're off base. It tells you you are off base. Okay. But once you recognize flow, it's okay. And once it's okay, there's no resistance. When there's no resistance, no pain. Only when you keep resisting over and 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 over again and again and again and again, look at things. We will stay 50, 60, 70 years going through the same thing, having this, well, so-and-so saying the same thing over and over and over again. Well, that's just thoughtlessness. That's how we know the difference. That's just thoughtlessness. And then we blame everything else. They want to look down at me because I'm tall, because I'm short, because I'm gay, because I'm fat, because I'm thin. They want to look down on me because of this, that, and the other, because I got one finger. We're not looking in the right place for the solution. You see what I'm saying? So we're recreating it over and over again.
And the second part would be, how does the severity of it? I mean, your description of the solar system, if that was translated into someone's life, those would be extremely severe things happening. They were not.
Only if you perceive them as severe. See, you're looking at that from the point of view of something smaller looking at something larger. To the thing itself. So, in your expansion, you come to see that its pain is no different from your pain. It's just that you're perceiving it to be greater because it seems to be larger. No. You can only experience the pain that you can experience from where you are. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. In war, a mother loses a child. It doesn't matter whether that mother loses a child is black, white, Asian, whatever. It's still the pain of a mother losing a child. The loss of a child, it doesn't matter whether it is in war, whether it is from disease, whether it is whatever, it is still the same pain. You follow what I'm saying? Severity is an opinion. Okay? One of the things I've constantly said to you is that you shut up here, the pain isn't as bad as you think it is. We make it worse because of what we have to say about it. So just experience it and shut the hell up. It ain't that bad. You will find out. But you have to experience it. You have to accept it. You have to let go and accept it. You know, as many times as I've been in the hospital, people are curious about me. And they are curious because they think I absorb a lot of pain. Because my attitude does not change. I may be a little more sweaty, I may be breathing a little differently, but I always got a bad joke or some nonsense. And the reason is I accept how I feel. You never hear me going, oh, see, and I would be thought of badly if I said what I really wanted to say when people do that. Shut the fuck up. When you really are in pain, you know what you say? You can't muster the energy to do that. Well, they may be in some kind of emotional pain when they are going like that. My point is, it's not as bad as you make it. Accept it for what it is. The only way you're going to get past it, the only way you're going to understand it, the only way you're going to understand how to get past it is to accept it for what it is. That way we get past it. We have chronic diseases. What do? Oh, man, I got this. Oh, whatever it is I got. Oh, well, the stress and the tension makes it worse, makes the disease worse. You've got to let that energy flow. You may not survive it, but you will survive to whatever point you survive under better conditions. You follow me? All right. You have to let the flow happen. It's hurting you because it's running around stuck. And it's the being stuck that is the painful thing. You have to let that flow. We have cancer because first of all, we have a genetic predisposition. But at the same time, what triggers that predisposition is not allowing our energy to move, to flow. Okay? Same thing with this. I kept how I felt about people in here. I felt so badly for my fellow human being, and I kept it here. Then they're saying, well, look, you got about a year. How many years ago was that? It's been a long time. I'm still here. I'm still here and doing pretty well most of the time. Point is, you let that energy move. I stopped caring more for people than they cared for themselves. But stop. No. I will hang on no cross for you. You want somebody hanging on the cross, crawl your ass up there. You hang on there. Nope. I love you in that I will tell you the truth. Here's how you get past that. You and I are equals. Now, handle your business. If I love you, I got to say to you, handle your business. That means you do what you need to do. You take the responsibility to deal with the issue. Things change. We like to say, a doctor say, we give you medication, the body heals itself. Well, the body will heal itself or do the best it can with what it has if the energy flows. If the energy flows. Now, in my family, genetically, I have a predisposition to heart problems. My whole family, everybody's had heart attacks. Everybody. That means there's a genetic predisposition. There's a weakness in there. But that's okay because there is an expiration date on the carton. There really is. In your genes, there's an expiration time. It's not a specific date, but it's there. Like I said, you don't see no 1,000-year-old people, and you're not going to see them. That's not the nature of life. Get into the flow. You don't worry about certain things. You focus on the solution to these things. You focus on the solution, not the problem. When you get angry, you focus on the anger. You don't focus on the solution to the anger, which is doing the technique. You get frustrated, you focus on the frustration. You don't focus on the solution to the frustration. You learn that it's okay. It's all right. One of the things I think about learning to deal with that thing is young men play rough games. And we learn, for the most part, we learn it's only pain. It's only pain. It's okay. We learn how to go through it. Now, some of us don't. Some of us go, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just saying we learn things. Football. We say, oh my God, look at what it does. But at the same time, we learn things. We learn what we can do and what we can't do. We learn how far past where we think, oh, this is just debilitating. We think that's it. We learn that we can go further. I remember being hit and just being physically hit by a kid. It wasn't real bad. It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't as bad as I had anticipated that it would be. So I beat the hell out of him. Yes. Kim.
There's no flow. So there's flow. But the only reason we see the flow is because there's a blockage. Because if there's no blockage, there'd be no flow.
Right.
So does that mean you're at that?
You're at the point, okay, you see, the blockage has allowed you to see it. Now you're at the point for changing that. Let me let down the dam. Let me let down the blockage. See that flow now, how we can identify that flow now is because it feels good. You see what I'm saying? So both sides of it help the other side. This is how Tao works. One side helps the other. If you stay in the middle, you see it, and you go, okay, huh?
It's just there.
Yeah. You are just there. You are the constant. Or God is the constant. If you want to use that word. But again, if you're going to use that word, you got to let the definition of that word go and just be. Okay? Kevin?
What do you mean when you say it feels good?
You know what it means. You told me this morning. You start to get that good feeling. Yeah.
Well, but because there are several feeling good. As I do a technique at different times, as different things happen, it feels differently. But each time it feels good.
But each is just a slight bent of the original. See, there's but one good feeling. Now, how you perceive it gives it a slight bent.